Okay, you needed to make that film.
November 180 Bravo Bravo, good afternoon to you. Report your altitude? 2,000 feet on 1014, Bravo Bravo. Bravo Bravo.
Yep, that's the one. So here we go, Mike Ray's book here. Let's see if we can get that on camera. And I've used these books for a number of years, and although they're written here, I don't know whether you can see it in this box here. There we go. There it says MSFX and MSFS 2004. So Mike Ray, he wrote these books specifically from Microsoft Flight Simulator point of view, but because he was writing books about study level simulators, it works for the Flight Factor A320. Okay, now when I did my series of videos the other week before I went away on vacation on the A320, there was a couple of things that I thought were wrong. I thought they were wrong in the simulator, and so I got out my book for reference, and in actual fact they're right. They're very right. And so something that I thought was wrong is perfectly right. Now, one of the main things was that when you get on the runway, in every other A320 or Airbus simulator I've got, you get on the runway and you press the auto throttle button and the green light comes on. That is incorrect. That is wrong. Because in the Airbus, what happens is you press the auto throttle button and no light comes on. In fact, auto throttle only comes on, only activates once you hit auto thrust on the runway, you're moving down the runway and you've got auto thrust that is being managed by the aircraft. As soon as that happens and you're airborne, auto throttle comes on automatically, okay? So something that I thought was wrong, I thought it, not a bug, but I thought there was something wrong in the programming, because normally you press the button and it lights up. In actual fact, Flight Factor have got it right, and it is perfectly right. And if it hadn't been for Mike Ray's book, I might have made that assumption that there was something wrong. Now, these books are brilliant, and this is a not for paid for endorsement, okay? So I'm not being paid to talk about this book. I bought this. But I highly recommend them. Okay, I do highly recommend them. If you're serious about flight simulation and you want to learn, then these are the books to get. You can go on YouTube. You can look at all sorts of videos. You can read. You can watch somebody else's tutorial. Fine. But if you really want to learn about the aircraft, these are the books to get. Because Mike Ray was a pilot. He was a real life pilot. He talks about, in this book, he talks about, let me see if I can get this to focus, there we go, yeah. He talks about the big 7. These are the 7 main items that you are required to be able to fly the Airbus, okay? So the big 7 list of items that are the primary devices used in flying this airplane. So the primary devices. So you've got the EFIS control unit, electronic flight instrument system. You've got the FCU, which is the flight control unit. PFD, which is the primary flight display. ND, which is the navigation display. MCDU, which is the multifunction control display unit. Okay. Thrust levers, obviously, and then the upper ECAM, which is the electronic centralized aircraft monitoring system. So those are the big 7 there, right? Okay, let me get that there. That's the big 7. And then over the page, he actually has got what the big 7 are. He's drawn them out. Really nice vector graphics. So, you know, the EFIS control panel, the flight control unit, primary flight display, navigation display, the MCDU multifunction control display unit, thrust levers, and upper ECAM, all there, right? All beautifully drawn out and labelled. And this is why Mike Ray's books are so good, because they are so beautifully drawn. Now, those are the 7 things on that page, yeah? Let me get, come on, camera. Those are the 7 things on that page. But over the page, he then goes through them in detail, okay? So the primary flight display unit there, okay? And it's got everything labelled on it, everything, okay? Over the page, flight mode annunciator, okay? Flight mode annunciator, FMA, which is on top of your primary flight display. He's just so brilliant at the way that he does everything. Damn it. So, yeah, everything. Look, I mean, look, he describes the speed tape in detail, yeah? And when I say he describes it in detail, he talks about next flap extended speed, speed trend arrow, actual airspeed reference line. So every little part of the speed tape is described. And also the same with the altitude tape here. And I'll tell you this now. With the Airbus A320 from Flight Factor, it is so accurate. It is so accurate that this manual, this guide, is just superb. I wanted to. There was one other thing, and I've seen this depicted in a number of aircraft, but never depicted very well. Okay, not really that well. And I'm just trying to find an image for you whereby you can see it. So bear with me 1 second. It is in here somewhere, and I'm quickly going through. And I cannot find it. But there is something known as, and this is on the navigation displays, known as a oh gosh, it's known as a hockey stick. Okay, a hockey stick, and I found a picture of it. Now you'll see this in Airbus, but it's like on the magenta line, as you're following your flight plan, you'll see a little kind of arrow and tick pointing in. Now I've got it here. I hope you can see this. Let me just make sure. There. Okay, that, not the big arrow, but the tiny one that it's pointing at there, and it's a little arrow. That is known as the hockey stick. So here you see me on the end of the runway, and I'm getting ready to take off. I'm just highlighting the hockey stick there on both the primary flight display and the co-pilot flight display there. Okay, so you can see the hockey stick, and auto thrust is not set. It will not set. Flight director's on, but that is about it. You can see that the altimeter and speed is being managed by the aircraft. I've got 6,000 feet set there with the, so we've got the, you know, the dots and the dashes. So what we need to do now is take off, and there is a bit of a crosswind. I know that because I did this and it threw me off a little bit. But so we set flex takeoff.
30 on runway.
Yes,
30.
we know we're on runway 30. So we'll set flex takeoff, and as you can see, auto throttle is still not activated. But once we get to thrust set, okay, once we get to thrust set, the auto throttle will come on automatically. So we're just coming down the runway now. Nose wheel is up. That crosswind caught me there. Whoa, a lot heavier than I anticipated. And then you see that auto throttle will come on. I think once we're 1,000 feet AGL, hit autopilot 1. Come on, that will come on ever shortly. Gear up. Auto throttle is autopilot 1 is activated, and auto throttle is now on. Okay, so as I was saying previously, you've got the hockey stick there that's going to take us up to 6,000 feet, and this is very accurate. This is, you know, as the A320 operates. And previously, in all the other depictions of A320s I've ever been in, that was slightly different. In fact, it wasn't accurate at all. Anyway, so let me come out of this and we'll put some more video. Now the hockey stick, what that is where you are predicted to be at your altitude, your restriction. So for example, on a Brecon 1 Alpha departure out of Cardiff, the initial altitude is 6,000 feet. So you dial in 6,000 feet. Well, you don't need to dial it in because the computers are managing the aircraft altitude. But as you get to 6,000 feet, which is a constraint in the MCDU, on your navigation display, once again, you'll see that little arrow. And that little arrow will be, that's when your aircraft is going to reach 6,000 feet. Yeah, so that is known as a hockey stick. Now you'll see the hockey stick as well on descent. Okay, so when you're descending, right? So we're going from Cardiff to Manchester, and we're going to be on a Mersey 1 Alpha arrival into Manchester. You need to be at 6,000 feet by Mersey. Okay, you will see your hockey stick, and it's depicted slightly different. And there, it's going up. Yeah, on descent, it'll be like that. It'll be coming down. All right, so the arrow is coming down. So when you reach 6,000 feet at Mersey, you will see that arrow, and that is when you're predicted to be at 6,000 feet. Now, what I'm trying to tell you is this. I have seen that in other aircraft, but very poorly implemented, okay? Very poorly implemented. In the A320 by Flight Factor, it is perfect. It's absolutely perfect. The whole navigation display in the Flight Factor A320 is perfect, I have to say. And the reason why I'm telling you all this is that these books by Mike Ray are superb. If you're serious about study level simulators, okay, learning about how to fly a study level simulator, then those are the books to get. Now I'm going to put some images up. I'm going to put a bit of film in of the A320 round about now, and I will highlight those things if possible. Okay, so if you can, get yourself a copy of that. You can buy them through some good flight simulator stockists, but go to his website, which is www.utem.com. That is Uniform Tango Echo Mike.com. I'll put it on screen here, and I'll put a link up there somewhere, or there, and I'll put a link in the description below as well. Okay. Anyway, it's almost Christmas. Smile more. We'll see you soon. Cheerio.